Again, please identify yourself when you get the mic and ask questions. Coach, would you like to open it up with an opening statement?
Yeah, of course. First of all, I just want to say congratulations to Virginia Tech. I mean, you just talk about what a gritty, hardworking team they are. Like, today was a really physical game that demanded a lot, I think, out of both sides. So congrats to them. As far as, our team and our fans, this was really special, you guys, to be here in Georgia, to have so many of our fans turn out, our band, our cheer. It was excellent. If there's one thing you've known about this group is they have been phenomenal at home, and this felt like a home away from home. So what a great experience. This tournament has been ran wonderfully. The facility is great. But, I think this came down to it. We all know this was like every quarter it just kind of switched, right? The momentum. We started the first, they were good in the second, and then we came out with just unbelievable fight and resolve in that third. And then that fourth quarter, I think, playing back-to-back games with 7 players, we just couldn't get those rebounds when we really needed it. And when you give a team a chance, to shoot 3 times, and wow, what can I say about Mackenzie Nelson? I mean, almost had a freaking double-double tonight, but that's what happens in March. Right? You got to have, players have got to step up for your team, and I thought she did that for them. But I'm proud of our group. I'm proud of the fight. And, they have established this culture as a hardworking, gritty, resilient team. And for them and for that, I am always eternally grateful.
Questions?
Coach, take me through that fourth quarter when it got down 50-48. What do you think was the difference at that point?
Yeah, I think that came down to the rebounds. Like we were giving up like 3 offensive rebounds on every possession, and it was some of those were the long rebounds. And so I think that ended up being, the part of the game. And then I think, Wenzel ended up hitting a really big 3. And, and it was just a dagger at that point. It's like, basketball is a game of momentum. That's what you're always trying to do. And, I thought we used a lot of energy to get it that close. And then she hits that 3, and it just, it kind of takes the wind out of your sails a little bit. But, yeah, it came down to rebounding.
What was going on in the first quarter? What let you get the big lead off the bat?
I mean, I think part of it is Erica Moon just came out and was super aggressive. I think she set the tone on the first play. I mean, it was a play that we had a couple different options, and Erica just took that sucker to the hoop, and I was like, great, all right, Erica came to play again today. So I think that was it. When we hit buckets early, this is kind of how this group has been. Like, their confidence starts to flow on the offensive end, and I think you just kind of see that trickle-down effect. And, we got a lot of shots in that second quarter, and I'm not mad at the shots that we had. We just, we weren't able to finish them to a high clip.
Coach, Coach Duffy described your program as kind of gritty, the way you play, and then you described hers. How much is that kind of a trademark of what you want this program to be and kind of be known for that kind of toughness and grittiness?
It's everything. Like, the first thing I want for these women is it starts with, I want them to have self-belief in themselves. And the second thing is, my job is to give them confidence. I want them every single time they step on the court to believe in themselves and be confident. And it's like, even when we came out at halftime, I was like, heads are held high. You know what I mean? Chest up. Like, we got to be proud, of who we are and what we've done. And that's all this group has done. That's what you want. Like, that's what I say. We have been in almost every single game. And you guys look at our schedule. Our schedule was tough. Our non-conference schedule was tough. And there's a lot of teams that would quit, and we didn't. We trusted the process. They put their head down, and we went to work, and we figured out our roles, and we got it all figured out. I mean, I was just telling Talayah on the way down here, I'm like, this is like 27 years I've been coaching. I don't know if I've ever seen a player that's transformed so much in one season. Like, we had that Notre Dame game on January 1st, and she just looked at me and said, give me the ball. And I said, say less. Like, you just saw her become, the player, the go-to player. But you can't make that. She had to do that herself, and she did. And she has carried us, all the way through this ACC play.
Speaking of that, Talayah, towards this, we saw the taking over the game toward the end of the game. What was your mindset to try to bring this team back and to try to – you took more shots, it looked like, towards in the third and fourth quarter?
Yeah, in the beginning of the game, I knew that I needed to be more aggressive. I wasn't getting enough touches. And I know, like, as I go, my team goes. So I knew I had to get downhill and try to be more aggressive, and hopefully everybody else would just come along and fill that space.
Hey, y'all again. Megan Hall with USA Today. This question's or Talayah. Coach just kind of mentioned how you've evolved over the season. How has she impacted your evolution this season? Like, what have you learned from her as you've grown?
She's impacted me a lot. Again, just giving me a lot of confidence. When I came in, I wasn't this confident, but under her wing, I was able to be more confident and just learning the game from her and our amazing coaching staff who has a lot of experience. So just able to absorb all their knowledge and just apply it on the court has made me really successful. So I just am really appreciative of them. And my teammates, they're very supportive and they know what we have to do to win, whether it's getting me the ball or getting other people the ball or just, attacking like we said. So I think I just had a great group around me that made me very successful this season.
Coach John Kinney from Wake Forest. What are some positive things you'll take from your first season at Georgia Tech?
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, the first thing is we've got a lot of underclassmen on this roster. So it's like getting these experiences, like getting through this postseason in March. And this is what we said. I'm like, this is March basketball. March is a different, you know what I mean? It's like the physicality gets ramped up to a different level. Every mistake, usually somebody makes you pay. So like that's what I'm appreciative of. And honestly, me as a first-time head coach, it's like I'm getting through the league for the first time. So you're learning how to scout other teams. What are other coaches' tendencies? Like what are their systems? And I was familiar with a few programs, but not everybody in the ACC. So I know in this off season, we'll be able to put a good team together. But I think that's just learning the league, and it's been a fun experience for sure.
Talayah, first year at Georgia Tech, kind of what's this been like being with Coach Blair first year, and kind of how much confidence you had about building this program going forward the next few years and being a part of it?
Yeah, it's been a great experience. We've known each other for a while. She recruited me when I was in high school, so just getting to come and play with her meant a lot. And then I know how much belief she had in this group, so I'm really excited to see how we can keep evolving and being better. And like she said, we have a lot of underclassmen, so the experience is there. So I think as we keep going in the years further, we'll be able to know mistakes early and know what to do in certain situations. So I'm very confident with this program.
Coach, I'm not sure if there will be a postseason opportunity for you guys. Would that be something you guys would be interested in if that happens, or with 7 players left, do you feel like y'all are out of gas, or do you want to play some more?
Listen, I would be with this group every single day. They probably don't want to practice that much, but I'm like, we got in one of those timeouts, and I'm like, again, it's like just their resolve and their fight. Like, it was a war today. Like, it was a battle. I mean, they just grinded out. So I hope so. Like I said, I mean, you look at our non-conference schedule, but the amount of teams that we played that are going to end up in March Madness, there's a lot. This group has earned it. They've gotten better. We've gone through this ACC, which is a gauntlet, every single night. And they deserve it. They deserve that opportunity to get a postseason experience. So I hope that we can.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Is anyone going to the tech locker room? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach.